Welcome back to Crafting Cars. Today we're going to be changing the oil on this 2011 Jeep Patriot Latitude with a 2.4 liter. Let's get to it. So all you're going to need for this oil change, a basic ratchet, a 13mm socket, a small extension, and some 5W20 motor oil. So you're going to want to start off by popping the hood. Alright, now you're going to want to take off the oil cap. Set it off to the side where you won't forget it.
That allows for easier drain when you're draining the oil.
Now you're going to go under the car and locate your oil plug and your oil filter. So once you get under the car, you'll notice you have your first little plastic window here, and that's where your oil filter is located. And if you move about a foot back, you get another window. And that's going to be where your drain plug is located. Alright, so then you're going to slide a little oil catch pan underneath your car to catch all the oil that comes out of the filter and the plug. Alright, so go ahead and unloosen this.
You're going to get a little oil out. We'll set this here to drain.
Alright, now it's time to loosen up the drain plug. Once you break it loose with the ratchet, you should be able to just finger it right out. And while I'm doing this, a pro tip is you keep pressure on the plug, and that'll keep it from spilling all over your hands. And you only pull the plug out when you're ready to unleash all the oil. Pull out. Alright, so now that you got the plug out, you're going to want to let it drain for about 15 minutes until you see no more drips.
So now we do all those steps in reverse.
Alright, so now it's all drained out, we're ready to put the plug back in. And this should thread in no problem. If it kind of struggles like that for a little bit and it's hard to thread it in, it means you're going a little bit crooked. So you got to pull it back out, try again. You should be able to tighten it pretty far down with just your fingers. And then you're coming through with your ratchet. You just snug it up. Alright, now before we go to install the oil filter, you're going to want to get some clean oil on your finger. And rub it right around this rubber gasket. This will keep the gasket from sticking to your hot engine block. And another thing is you want to make sure that the mating surface where this is going to be attaching is nice and clean. Sometimes you can get like burnt rubber pressed up against the block, so you just want to make sure that's all wiped off and you got nice clean bare metal. Alright. Now same as the plug, you want to get this thing completely square when you put it on, and it should be almost effortless. Finally. Alright, now you just want to make sure your hand's nice and dry, and you just get that thing hand tight. You don't have to put an oil wrench on it or anything. Just get it as tight as you can with a nice dry hand, and you are good to go. So now that your plug's on and your oil filter's on, you're ready to dump in your brand new oil. Now the 2.4 liter Jeep takes 4.5 quarts of oil. As you're dumping it in, it's kind of hard to gauge how much oil you're putting in. So you want to check the dipstick every once in a while just to make sure you don't over or underfill it. So this motor's got a plastic cover that kind of sticks up out of the way. So to get past all that and filter it right down to the hole where you need it, I recommend you use a plastic funnel. Also make sure your funnel is very clean. This one we just used to funnel gas, so you don't want to get gas in the oil. Honda. Alright. Slowly dump it in, just like so. So now you're going to want to pull the dipstick, wipe it off thoroughly, put it back in there, then check again and see where you're at. So as you can see, we're right at the top of the safe mark, and that's exactly where you want to be. So now that your oil level checked out, you're good to put your dipstick back in, put your oil cap back on, and you're ready to run your car. All right, perfect. And most of these Jeeps have an internal clock that counts, I think it's around 4,000 miles. And every 4,000 miles, a little change oil indicator pops up. I'm gonna show you how to reset that quick so you'll be good to go for the next time. So you've reset this indicator by turning your ignition on, but not starting the car yet. Now you're gonna wanna fully depress the pedal 3 times within 10 seconds. Ignition all the way off. And then start the car. Now we wait and just hope that the indicator went away. Yep, so it seemed to have worked. At this point, I'd write down and take a picture of your mileage, and I'd recommend changing about every 4,000 or 5,000 miles after this. So as you can see, it's very straightforward. That's literally all there is to it. Thanks for watching.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.